A glance around reveals an empty street, and I take a moment of solitude to adjust my layers. It does little to stave off the biting wind.
God damn it! I have my audio on. Son of a bitch. I have a hotkey for that. Fucking hell. Someone could have said I had no audio. Anyway, as I was saying, this game is in window mode. I don't know why this breakers wasn't. I can't fix it, but I would try to do that after the live stream. And, well, hopefully by then I might find out what was the problem of it. If not, then I'm going to try. I'm going to try to see if I can fix it. Oh my god. I should be getting my dinner. Holy moly. Apparently I'm not live. Oh, now I'm live. sometimes I'm. I don't know why I bother.
I clench and unclench my fingers with a deep-rooted ire.
Okay.
I am not being paid well enough for this shit.
Woo!
Then again, I never am. This was the second night since I had started this assignment. The couple had hired me to bring back their son. They hadn't been so comfortable with the way the official investigation was turning up so very little, and how much the media had begun to spin the tale into a ghost story.
Woo! Spooky, spooky story.
The phantom ice cream truck.
That was something awesome and scary at the same time.
What a mouthful.
You're my fault.
A messy case, too. The police's initial involvement had been straightforward. The first child had fell off the map like the earth had swallowed him whole. Right off the street, according to witnesses. No one saw a thing. No reliable witness heard anything either. No unfamiliar cars or people. No unfamiliar sounds. One moment he was in front of his parents' home, the next he was gone.
Wow.
Strange, but there could be plenty explanations for such an incident. Very mundane ones. Such explanations became more unlikely when every child in the neighborhood reported hearing ice cream truck music right around the time of the disappearance.
Okay.
Of course, without a single adult able to corroborate this mysterious music, the children's testimony was quickly dismissed. Still creepy, right?
Yeah.
And oh so mysterious.
Okay.
Even more so when it happened again.
Wait, what?
Then a third time. It was the third parents who hired me.
Oh my god.
I never really figured out how my clients find me. It's not like I list my number anywhere or advertise. But somehow word of mouth leads to my phone ringing, and a familiar phrase to indicate it's for business. Ya, ya, Fatan. I seek a pact with that which should not be. I know, it's a little trippy. It's from a book I had read back in college. A friend came up with the joke as his invocation of my aid. He must have used it dozens of times when we were younger, typically for a ride when he had been out drinking.
Hold on, guys, I'll be right back. Right, guys. Oops. Sorry about
I had
that.
become so used to it that when I first answered the phone and heard an unfamiliar voice say the phrase, I just kind of went with it.
Oh yeah.
The next time it was the same.
And everything is the same.
Then it became common.
How common are we talking about?
Where are you?
We live in Rosterfield, Maine. I know it's a long way from where I heard about you, but can you help us?
Yes.
Will you pay the price?
We will pay anything if you can bring back our son.
Get off that book. There's my supernatural journal. I went down the
deal
hotkeys.
struck. And with that, I called in sick to work. Told them I had the feeling to need a few days off. I was given shit about not getting my flu shot, but they didn't hassle me too much. That evening, I was on a plane.
Descriptions of the dead.
I arrived at the house at midnight. I did not knock. After all, it was important to keep up appearances. I didn't knock. The window to the left was latched, but the right slid up easily. I found the boys' room first and gave it a once-over. Legos, Ben 10 toys, and Star Wars paraphernalia littered the floors and walls. A quick once-over revealed nothing useful, though. I sat on the foot of the bed for almost 10 minutes before one of them stirred.
Oh my god!
Normal reaction. I turn around slowly. I return for what has been lost. From you, I need 2 items. I need a photo and an article of clothing. Something thick with its smell. The woman stands up slowly, edging against the wall, then runs to the child's room. She returns with a dirty soccer jersey and a copy of a Lost flyer. The father remains paralyzed, his eyes locked with mine. Though likely, he is just staring into the shadow beneath my hood, hoping to see something there, something human, likely questioning his decision to hire me.
Can you really find him?
We can try.
I take a long smell of the shirt, then discard it. I take a look at the photo. This time, I spend a lot longer examining it. I wasn't really some bloodhound. I couldn't track by scent, but the photo helped a lot. Now I knew what he looked like. Yes. She begins to breathe heavily, and then cries.
Aww.
The husband just continues to stare aghast into the hood of my cloak. With that, I begin to walk out. Behind me, I hear the father speak.
What did we just send after our son?
Spooky.
First night had been uneventful. I had turned over the results of the police investigation and found myself wanting.
Wanting for what?
Wanting what? Oh, anything resembling a lead.
I've been moving a lot.
Did these people get paid to do this shit? I certainly didn't buy the superstitious who were already spreading stories about the ghostly ice cream truck.
You never know.
If a ghost were going to come back, it's very unlikely they would be scooting around in an ice cream truck.
Yes, I will.
Talking to children had been painfully hard.
No, I won't.
My one fortune was that my attire left me more reminiscent of a Slender Man than a child molester. So the times I was chased away from children I tried to interview were not mistaken for solicitation.
Fine now that Jess and I were killing Slenderman Left 4 Dead 2. I know where that place.
I shuddered violently at the thought. The children provided my first real clue. They described a tune, one that sounded like the type and consistency that an ice cream truck might have. Not that ice cream trucks are common these days. I was a little surprised these kids even knew what one was.
Well, he's not wrong. The ice cream trucks are rare. There used to be one going around my neighborhood, like during the summer, and I hardly see that nowadays.
Some were even able to hum and whistle the tune for me. I wasn't entirely sure how to run with this info. The relevance of a single song really didn't occur to me. A small piece of the rest of the day was spent feeding myself and taking a nap as inconspicuously as possible. I had no intention of allowing anyone to see me be anything other than the creepy supernatural paranormal investigator. It's how I've always done things.
Of course.
You'll be surprised how quickly you can build a rep with the right look and behavior. After the nap, it was back to beating the streets. And my current predicament. It was friggin' cold. In the near distance, I watched a quartet of kids, roughly 14 or so, playing a ragged game of football. They seemed to be having a great time, but even as far away as I am, their cheers and jeers rattle my nerves. For a moment, I wish they would be quiet. As though hearing my thoughts mid-run, they stop, on cue. They stand up straight and begin to draw heavy, ragged breaths. A girl hugs the football to her chest as her eyes grow ever wider. I test reality for a moment. I wish I had a few thousand bitcoins. It occurs to me that I should have asked for something more easily checked. At the same time, it occurs to me that I didn't silence those kids.
Oh my word. I wonder what did actually silence those kids.
I bite my tongue, close my eyes, and bury the nail of my thumb into the palm of my hand.
What?
I dig in as hard as I can, drawing blood as my vision blares with the colors behind my eyelids. And then, I hear it.
Why?
The song playing on a pair of shitty speakers. The kind you'd hear on top of an old-timey ice cream truck. My eyes flick open as I scan the horizon. The truck passes me, inches from clipping my shoulder, and heading straight towards the kids. No, you fucking don't! I break into a run, and despite the trivial speed of the truck, barely manage to keep up.
Okay.
As the truck closes on the kids, it slows to a stop, and I finally begin to close the gap.
Run on home, you kids. It's getting dark. This town isn't safe after dark.
Getting dark? What is he talking about? The sun set hours ago. No sooner had the words crossed my mind when it all went black. For a few moments, I thought I had been knocked unconscious.
Okay.
Then my eyes began to adjust.
Why would you dig your nails into your own eyes? Why?
I make out the faintest impression of light.
Oh no. Oh no. This isn't good. You kids better get in. I'll get you home safe.
I
No!
watch helplessly, moving through the dark like it was molasses. Shadows pass before the light as he ushers them into the truck. The truck lights blare into brilliance, and I hear the motor roar as the car begins to move forward at a pace more in keeping with a motor vehicle. I would lose it even if I were still able to move. No! No!
What the hell's going on?
I let out a choked cry after them. Stop! Stop! Then I stop. The second cry had no depth to its volume. While the no had echoed normally down the empty street, the scream of stop had sounded like I screamed into the middle of a very crowded room. Slowly I reach behind me, laying hands on one of my pieces of emergency equipment. The kind of stuff you don't use when you want people to think you're some manner of elder horror. I slowly bring it around, just as I feel the breath on my neck. With a whip, I crack the flare. Seeing it burn red hot through my clenched eyes, and I hear the cacophony of screams. I open them. Thousands of twisted, naked heaps of malformed, demi-human flesh writhe in the agony of the light.
Oh
As
my
I raise it above
god!
head, the flare burns brighter. The darkness washes away. I wheel around in place, but find myself alone back in the street.
What the fuck?
In the middle of the day. I drop the flare and try futilely to snuff it out with my boot. My little display has drawn an audience, and not so far down the street, I see my clients. Oh, fuck.
What the hell?
So it's ghosts.
I merely nod slowly.
But you can still get him back?
I nod again.
But it's been over a week since you started searching. He hasn't eaten anything.
A week?
I still couldn't wrap my mind around how much time had passed in the darkness. He will be fine. Time does not pass normally where he is.
You know where he is?
I nod. I'm going there tonight to get him back. They start crying. I'm not really sure what to do at this point, so I stand there, awkwardly, hoping that my layers give me more of the appearance of stoicism than an awkward penguin. Apparently it works.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I leave the building as they both chant "thank you," like it was some kind of prayer. It's not the first time I'd heard that prayer.
Oh. I think.
It's not the first time I had done this. I'm ready this time as night falls. I withdraw a small shot and without hesitation jam it into my arm. Viper venom. I had a friend back home who kept one as a pet. Weird kid. Milks the things. Sells the venom, mostly to medical facilities. Occasionally he sells it to me.
Toby.
My knees nearly buckle as the burning begins to creep through my arm. I stifle a scream. Then I hear it, and everything clicks. I let out a long sigh and stand up, adjusting my layers. I turn my eyes to fall upon the approaching truck. My hand goes behind my back and my fingers close. I train the gun on the truck and unload a triad of shots into the ghost truck's engine. The engine sputters, the grating burns, melting away, and the music screams in protest.
What do you think you're doing?
An escapee from an Andy Warhol painting stutters, stepping awkwardly from the vehicle.
It's getting dark. I have to protect the children.
Only one thing may not exist. You and that which you fear must cease to be.
But the children...
The darkness falls upon me. With such force, I stagger. I lose my grip and the gun disappears, searing into the shifting mass of flesh. My hand goes behind my back, and my grip closes around a rough-hewn blade, forged of obsidian and steel.
What is going on?
And as I carve outwards, I hear the screams of all the lost children, unwilling to accept their fate, and swallowed by the darkness. Flesh tatters as I carve, burning away like paper.
Oh my
until
God.
finally, I lay into the man.
No, you don't understand. I was just trying to help.
I bury the blade into his throat. The cacophony resounds as the children who lost themselves in the darkness writhe, and I go about my work of freeing them all, just as I had freed this man.
What the hell? What's happening?
Oh, my baby. It's okay. Everyone's okay.
No, not everyone. They're all dead. Everyone died.
7 kids lost here, and I got back all of them. I wonder how many I actually freed. How many had he trapped in his nightmare? And what the hell was he so afraid of in that darkness? And most importantly, why did he ultimately abandon them to it?
I don't know how to thank you. After a week of not hearing from you, I'd feared for the worst. A month after that, and I'd come to accept that it was over.
I'm confused.
His eyes fall to his wife, still babying the boy, who won't stop staring off into the distance.
I'm so confused. What's going on?
She had faith, though. She said that you were an angel, or maybe a demon. She didn't care. She believed in you. Some nights after she had said her Hail Marys, I would see her put her hands together. and I would hear her. She prayed to you.
I was almost flattered, but to tell the truth, the idea of someone believing so much in me, and praying to me, it was terrifying.
I want you to know, I'm willing to pay more than whatever your normal fee is. We've been living with a tight belt since I called you, and I won't lie and say I don't do well for myself. I have more than enough saved up to pay you anything we could ask. Or, if there's something else you want, there's nothing I can offer you that means more to me than my son.
I let out a long sigh. I reach up to my hood and pull it back. Both of them gasp, stepping back, and then cocking eyebrows in unison, having perhaps expected something more. After having been gone for 2 months, I could really use a job.
Wait, is that it? That was it. Okay, guys, I'm confused. I really am confused. I have no idea what the hell was that.